I'm not certain that artists have a specific role in our society or need to, but I know that they need to pay attention because that's what artists really are the best for. And when they pay attention, it makes the rest of the world pay attention. In the last few years, I've been thinking about why I began to make art at all and why anybody makes art. What's happened in my lifetime, when I went to graduate school, there wasn't a lot of emphasis on a career. And then within 5 or 6 years afterwards, the whole career thing has happened. And I don't knock that. I think it's okay. But if I were to talk to young students now, I would ask them a couple questions. And one would be, if there weren't any galleries and there weren't any museums, would you still make art? So think about why, what was that first time, why when you wanted to make something? What is that about? Because that's the core thing that will keep you going the rest of your life, no matter what's going on in the commercial art world, is like, how is it core to you? And understand why it's core to you. It will carry you for the rest of your life, and you can develop fantastic friendships on that level, on a level that's not about commerce. It's only about aesthetics. Well, I didn't grow up necessarily in an art world. I mean, so when I went away to college and finally met some real artists, I mean, those became my role models, those people. But nowadays, I mean, I'm a huge devotee of art and art history, but it's the daily life that fascinates me. It's the things that we share in common that I look for as source material. To be inspired, a lot of times is just doing the work, your own work, and things generate out of that because you have to get yourself into what I call the visual zone with all your antenna up, and then a lot of things start radiating. Yes, I like working with daily materials, soap, bed sheets, common materials, because one, it's democratic, and it's available to everyone. It's not exceptional. Like bronze is a whole nother level. I'm not against bronze, but it's a lot of money, it's a lot of investment. Whereas I can go into CVS and buy a bar of soap for less than $1 and make an artwork. There's something enormously appealing to me about that, and that everyone can do that. Humor is the tool to bring people in. And then there's a bigger story, and maybe a sadder or a tragic or something poignant you're trying to get across, like Philip Guston's work is just that way. And my work and the work I did with Keith Puccinelli is exactly that. It looks humorous, but when you slow down a minute and you get the full range of what's going on, then the range of human emotions start to open up. The thing about the trace drawings or trace monotypes is that they're very immediate. It doesn't require a press. And you can do it on your kitchen tabletop. Again, it brings this home to this democratic sense of how to make art, that you don't have to go to a huge print studio to make prints. You can do it yourself. And it's immediate, you draw on the back, you turn it over, and you have the print. It's a natural for anybody who wants to draw. And so I immediately was taken by it as soon as I learned the technique. One thing I'd like to say to young artists or students is when you're thinking about being an artist, one thing to think about is not necessarily so much about the art world, meaning museums and galleries, is to think about a life in the arts. How is your life going to be? What do you want your whole life to be? And if you approach it that way, rather than just being focused on making a singular, perfect object for the world to praise you on, think about how can I live my life in a rich, full way with maybe family, maybe relationships, maybe about where you live and how you live, and that you have your own integrity intact through it all. That's what's key to me. You will, I guarantee you will have a rich life without a lot of disappointments if you just keep your focus on that. Well, I don't know if my art is going to make the world a better place. I just hope it doesn't make it any worse. Art is everywhere and people don't realize it. The button on this shirt, somebody designed this button. Everything except nature was designed by someone. Because you can imagine if it wasn't, I wouldn't be sitting here, I wouldn't have any clothes on, I'd be sitting here under a tree. So what we need is get people visually educated so they can design better for the world. And for me, art gave me my whole life. It gave me, I was able to move across country, live in cities. I met my wife because of art. You know, I got my job working in museums because of art. So I tell young people, you can have a rich career by being in the visual arts.